Ashwin.
And I'm Niranjan.
And we are the knowledgeable masterminds. And in this video, we are going to show you 30 interesting facts. Well, not all the 30 in the same video because then the video is going to be too long. So we decided to break the video into two parts, part 1 and part 2. And each part is going to have 15 facts each. So let's get started. And this video is about what we think are the 15 most interesting facts in the universe. And we are going to split the video into three parts. Part 1 is going to be about human body, the amazing human body. And part 2 is going to be about space. And part 3 is going to be about general things which can't be classified into something. So let's get started. Part 1, the human body. In this part, we are going to tell you 5 amazing facts about our amazing body. And let's get started. The first fact is that a small block of bone is stronger than a lion. Yeah, it's true. A block of bone, the size of a matchbox, can hold up to 18,000 pounds of weight, which means that it can actually sustain a lion attack. Well, not all the bones, but some strong bones like the femur, etc., can sustain a lion attack. And 18,000 pounds is 8,164.66 kilograms, which is a lot. So, moving to next fact. The next fact is there is a regenerator in our body. Well, not all the parts, but there is a single part. The liver. The liver is the only regenerating organ in our body, and it can go to its full form from just 30% of its actual size. So, if a liver is damaged, just cut that part. I said it, but it's not that easy because just take a scissors and cut that. It's not that easy, but it is still possible. So moving to the next fact. The next fact is that appendix is useless. No, false. Appendix used to be considered useless, but not anymore because it is actually useful. Scientists confirm that appendix stores all the good bacteria, acting like a headquarters for it. But even now, appendix even cause many several diseases like appendicitis and many other. Well, the name is different. It's similar to appendix, and that's the name of a disease. So moving on to the next fact. The next fact is without blood but alive and healthy. The cornea of our eye doesn't take blood at all. Yeah, it doesn't take blood at all. And you know that a cell needs blood to take in oxygen from it. But the cornea takes oxygen directly from the air around it, and thus it does not need blood. Interesting, right? And the next one is going to be even more interesting. The next fact is stomach can digest food and metal too with ease. The acid present in our stomach is hydrochloric acid, also commonly known as HCl. And HCl can dissolve some soft metals too. And your stomach lining is strong enough to tolerate that. And so as it gets replaced every 4 days. So it is actually possible, but don't try that, it's really painful. But it is still possible. So moving on to the next part. From here on, my friend Niranjan is going to continue.
Now, part 2 is about outer space, and in this part, we are going to tell you 5 very interesting facts about space, and believe me, it's going to be very long. So, let's get started. The first fact is about the big boss, and you don't know who we are talking about? See here, still no? We are talking about the largest discovered star in the universe, which is Stephenson 218. Pronounced as Stephenson 2-18, and it's located in the constellation Stephenson 2, and from this I believe that it's the 18th star, but I have no idea. And previously this title belonged to many stars, and the latest one was UI Scuti. It was approximately 1775 times larger than the Sun. But UI Scuti will not be as large as this giant, and no wonder. It's approximately 2,150 times larger than the Sun, and The picture here, which I showed in the first slide, illustrates this monster very well, and it's very large. Now, the next fact is about something that's brighter than anything. Well, not anything, quasars are way brighter. But yeah, it's the brightest star, and we're talking about R136A1, and it's obviously the most luminous star discovered. This star is 6.2 million times more luminous than our sun, and one thing, it's very large, and more the size, the more light it produces. And as I said, this star is one of the most massive stars in the universe, and see the picture. Isn't it large? Not as large as Stephenson 218. Anyway, the next fact is about something that's large enough to suck Stephenson 2-18. And suck gives you an idea that this is a black hole. And here we are talking about the enormous black hole named TON 618. And this is the largest discovered black hole. And this giant has taken position 1 from a very long time, and no wonder. It has a mass of 66 billion suns, and that's not less. And this black hole is very large, and not as 66 billion times larger than the sun, because black holes are very dense objects, but it's still very large, and one must have a quintillion eyes to see it. A quintillion is 1 followed by 15 zeros, and that's a very large number after all. And the next fact is about something that's very dense. And from where in last slide we told black holes are dense, you might think this is about a black hole. This picture? Come on, yeah, this is a neutron star. But what's that purple thing standing next to it? We are talking about a quark star, and it's, as of now, it's hypothetical, and it's said that this happens when a neutron star reaches the end of its lifetime, or it collides with another star, and a kilonova happens, which is an explosion. And then this star becomes a quark star. It's hypothetical, but scientists are almost sure this is there, somewhere in the universe, the distant universe. And the quark stars are even denser than neutron stars, and doesn't they measure, because as I said, it's hypothetical as of now. But if neutron stars themselves are approximately 1 trillion times denser than normal matter, then we can just imagine how dense quark stars will be. And now the next fact is about the boss of fire and ice. Now, here's a picture. Recognize it? It's a large hadron collider at CERN, and this has produced the hottest and coldest temperatures that has ever happened in the universe. Come on. The humans are great, I guess. And the hottest temperature ever recorded was 5.5 trillion degrees Celsius, or 9.9 trillion degrees Fahrenheit. And this happened when scientists at the Large Hadron Collider accelerated particles to 99.9% the speed of light, and it's very fast because light, it's 3 lakh kilometers per just 1 second, and 99.9% just gave the particles so much heat, and that was a lot. But the coldest temperature ever recorded was also in the Large Hadron Collider, as I said, and this cooled down matter to 1.9 degrees Celsius, Kelvin, or minus 271 degrees Celsius, and that's very cold. Because the absolute freezing point of atoms is 1 degree Kelvin, 0 degrees Kelvin, and 1.9 degrees Kelvin is just so close to that. Anyway, now let's move on to part 3, and part 3 is about general things, which we can't classify into anything, so we'll just say that we're going to tell you 5 amazing facts, and from here on, my friend Ishwar will continue.
Yeah, and the fact number 1 is Goldeater. Oh, something eats gold? Well, it's not a living thing, but there is something. A substance called aqua regia can actually dissolve any metal. Like not any metal, but many metals, including gold and many noble metals. And this substance is a mix of nitric acid and hydrochloric acid. And the proportions of this are shown in the picture. Like 100 ml of hydrochloric acid and then 300 ml of nitric acid forms aqua regia. And it is so corrosive that it even dissolves like gold, because the acid it is made up of are also very corrosive, including the stomach acid, which we have learnt in part 1. So moving to fact number 2 in general. Fact number 2 is bacteria is our best friend and ancestor too. Oh, I never knew that. Yeah, I just kidding, I knew that. All of us, humans, dogs, cats, or whatever you can think of, except all living things you can think of except plants, have one common ancestor, and that is also a single celled organism. And yeah, you might have guessed by the picture, actually a bacteria called Luca. Yeah, it's been given a name. And Luca was one of the first organism to see Earth, like live on Earth, which was about 3 to 4 billion years ago. That's a long time ago. So the next fact, my friend Niranjan is gonna continue.
And the next fact is that water conducts electricity. Right? No, not really. Technically speaking. Because water in its pure form, the H2O we speak of, doesn't conduct electricity. We've seen many movies that when someone pours water into electricity, they get shocked, and technically that's not true. But practically speaking, we don't get pure water, and water does conduct electricity when it has minerals and salts dissolved in it. And practically speaking, we always get such water. So it's a rather technical fact which doesn't happen. But yeah. Now the next fact is about the turtle that's faster than the rabbit. And this is a very abstract heading. See this picture? Ice. But what's turtle and rabbit with ice? I don't get it. No? Let us explain. Now this weird heading which we said comes because hot water becomes ice faster than cold water. And this happens because of two reasons. You want to know why, right? And the first reason is that there's no difference in time taken for water of any temperature to freeze and cool down. And secondly, hot water evaporates a bit, a teeny tiny bit, and less water there is, less time it takes for water to freeze. That's why hot water becomes ice faster than cold water. But practically speaking, both take about the same time. But what is not true is that hot water is slower. Anyway, the next fact is about the metal form of quark stars. And this is a picture. You don't understand? Now, firstly, quark stars are also sort of metal because the core of any star is metal. But here, this heading came because this is the densest metal and it's osmium. You didn't expect this, right? Usually when we say densest metals, we think of gold and tungsten, but this metal is way denser. Not way denser, but it's still very dense. While both gold and tungsten are 19.3 times denser than water, osmium is 22.6 times denser than water, making the ultimate king of density. By the way, in the last thing, we have a small grammatic mistake. Please ignore that. And now, that's it, and thanks for watching. A huge thanks for watching this video, as always. And if you like the quality of our video, you can choose to like or share or subscribe to support our channel and get latest updates whenever we release a new video. For any doubts or improvements regarding this video or PPT, please contact the links which will pop up in a second. Also, we'll leave this PPT in the description so that you can learn easily. And This is as
Us, the knowledgeable mastermind,
signing off.
signing off.